Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. So, on this first day of the Canadian election campaign...
Oh, dear.
Did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And did you come up with any slogans as a result?
Not a one.
Not a one. Okay. All right. We should keep politics out of this podcast at all times, unless it's Canadian politics, in which case I think it's fair game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Elbows up, as they say.
Vote for me.
You certainly have my vote. What did you think of this crossword? Was it a winning crossword?
It was a good crossword, I thought. I didn't quite get the theme until the very end.
Oh.
But I filled it in relatively quickly. I sort of have the time I usually take on my Sundays
really?
to do the puzzle. Yeah, I got through it pretty fast. And so, but then when I realized what was going on with the theme, I thought, oh, and it's clever too. Not only was it easy to solve, but it was a clever theme.
Well, if you didn't know the theme, how did some of those answers make sense?
I just used the crosses.
Okay.
And if it made sense with the crosses, I figured, well, must be right. And it was a real phrase. It wasn't like, oh, it looks like something's misspelled there. So
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at like the very first one, the 23 across. And that was stay in one's lane, and it was resist the merge.
Right.
I've never heard anyone say resist the merge.
No, but those are all real words.
Yeah, they are.
Resist and the and merge.
Yes.
And it's punny. It seemed like it was kind of a little punny answer to that particular question. So, in fact, they all are in a way. So
why don't we look at a few more examples?
Okay. Well, perhaps we should explain what the theme is.
Oh, okay.
So then it makes more sense.
Right.
But I'm going to go all the way down to 115 across, which was the revealer, and it totally explains what the author of the crossword was doing. And the clue for that was classic breakup excuse or a phonetic hint to the themed clues, and there were quite a few of them. And the answer, of course, is it's not you, it's me. And that's exactly what was happening in the themed answers. They took the you out of a common phrase and replaced it with a me, an M-E. So the common phrase, of course, with 23 across would be resist the urge, U-R-G-E. But they put resist the merge, M-E-R-G-E.
Yes.
So that is the theme. Okay, let's look at another one. 36 across, Cliff Notes a version of Holmes and Watson stories. And the answer was men solved mystery. But if you take the M-E out of men and put you get the common phrase unsolved mysteries. But men solved mysteries is the answer to the clue. Cliff Notes version of Holmes and Watson stories. Essentially, that's what they do, men solving mysteries. So, okay, then the next one was 47 across. When do you need this patched up? Do you have the missing button, etc.? And that was mend lines instead of underlines. We had mend lines. And then the next one was 67 across, best impression of a Springfield patriarch. I knew that had to be something to do with
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, whenever you see Springfield in there. So it turned out it was finest Homer. But if you take the M-E out of Homer and put you get finest hour, which is the more common phrase.
Sure.
Okay. And then we had 86 across, which was headline about a falsely incriminated person casting a ballot.
Speaking of elections, yes.
And that was voter framed. But if you take the M-E out and you get voter fraud, but it was voter framed. And then finally, 93 across, delivered a nasty insult with perfect timing. And that was nailed the dis moment instead of taking the M-E out of moment. And that would make it nailed the dismount.
Right.
Like in a gymnastics tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was the theme.
Yes.
And it was very clever.
There were a couple that I had a little trouble with. 67 across, the best impression of a Springfield patriarch. I always thought that Homer said dough a lot, D-O-H. And so I had finest doer.
Oh.
And I didn't know a 52 down Hamilton co-star Leslie Blank Jr. And so I had O-D-O-H, and I thought, okay. But then I had 55 down, the Matilda author. I thought at first that was doll,
yes,
which sort of would mess up the doer answer, because then it would have been daddle as opposed to doll. So eventually I got that straightened out and realized they just were talking about Homer.
Homer Simpson, yes.
And then 86 across, the headline about a falsely incriminated person casting a ballot. I had voter frames, because 83 down, the Somersetting in Somerset for short, which is a great clue, was EDT. I always get those confused, and I thought it was EST.
No, that would be standard time. In the summer, it's daylight savings time, so they put D.
Yes, I still don't understand it. Probably never will, but that's all right. The other point about 36 across, the Cliff Notes version of Holmes and Watson stories, Men Solved Mysteries, it seemed to me that it was Sherlock Holmes that was doing all the solving. Watson was sort of bumbling along.
Well,
so it should be Man Solved Mysteries while other man watched.
I don't know. Watson had his moments in helping to solve the mysteries.
Well, he was certainly the chronicler. Otherwise, we'd never have heard of Sherlock Holmes. But anywho, that was just a small point. I'm sure if Arthur Conan Doyle were here, he'd probably, first of all, be very surprised to be here in the middle of a podcast.
It would be an interesting debate, I'm sure.
Yes. I completely forgot one across, the capital of Western Australia, Perth. I had to get a couple of letters before I could fill that in. Did you get it right away?
I did.
Okay. That probably helped contribute to your quick time.
Well, I was on a roll there. The first few lines there, I was getting most of them, yes.
Right. I was getting some of them. I did get 13 across, heats to just below a boil as milk scalds.
That is correct.
The word came to me, and then I thought, but that isn't really scalding, but I guess it is.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So, 20 across, higher in rank was smellier.
Yes.
I thought that was cute.
That was a good one.
And one of the funnier, there wasn't a lot of humor in here, I thought. But that one definitely was amusing. We had 22 across, here. And the answer was, take it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
We had 79 across. 79 across was planks can build them. Abs.
Yes.
That was good. I don't know. Maybe there were more funny clues than I remember. I seem to be stumbling upon them here.
One of them, I had never heard this, but this was a great word. 77 across. Temporarily banish as a college roommate. Sexile.
Yes.
I had never heard that before.
Oh, that wild dorm life.
Yep, sexile.
We had 43 down. The birthplace of Starbucks was Seattle.
That is correct.
I got that pretty quickly. I did not get the one next to it at all. Skeptical of big government say anti-tax. That took me quite a while to sort of work out.
Oh, me too. Because I didn't know the word sexile, and you had to have that X.
Right.
Anti-tax. I got the anti right away, but it'd be like, well, anti-big government? You know, I couldn't figure out what that would be, but anti-tax.
See, I didn't have the A because I didn't know 42 across. The Morales of the Mission Impossible franchise, S.A. E-S-A-I.
S-I.
S-I. Did you know S-I?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
That's a pretty common crossword.
Is it?
Clue, yeah. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it used to be pretty pretty common.
Let's just see how many thousands. Okay, it has shown up 127 times.
Right. And I think it's almost always the same,
It is.
Morales. So,
Has he been around? Let's see. They first clued it as such in 1994.
Yeah.
And they're still cluing it as such. Well, I mean, this is the Mission Impossible franchise. It's probably been going on that long. What part does he play?
I have no idea.
Oh, I see.
I just know he was in the movie La Bamba. It seemed like that would also be a clue, Morales of La Bamba. Oh, but I don't know what he was in that either. So I don't know that I've ever seen anything he's done.
He's been in La Bamba. They mentioned him a couple of times. Yes, actually, quite a few. So
Yeah.
he's been in NYPD Blue. Basically, if you want to know what Morales has done as an actor, just go to xwordinfo.com and look up his first name. And there it is, the complete filmography.
Right.
We had, this one caused problems for me, 84 across, vivid shade of yellow, canary.
Canary yellow, yes.
I think we just had canary.
Yes, we did.
As in something in a coal mine.
No, there was something related to the color, I think.
Really?
Canary yellow, yeah. I think so.
Let's see.
You're gonna check.
Of course I'm going to look it up. Let's see. Well, remember when I said we just had it?
It was bright shade.
It last appeared in 2020. It must have been part of a clue because as an answer before today, it most recently appeared in 2024 on Christmas Day, in fact, Tweety Bird, e.g., canary.
It's a canary.
And then we had in 2024 on December 7th, bright shade of yellow.
Yeah.
So we had 61 down. 61 down was suffice. Do nicely.
Yes.
And I thought that's sort of interesting, because if you think something will suffice, it's just enough. It'll do, but do nicely suggests it's more than just suffice or more than just sufficing. I don't think that's a word, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I don't know. If you say, is this enough? A person might say, yes, that'll do nicely.
Yes, you see, I think they're coming back with a more positive slant. Is that sufficient? Yes, it'll do nicely. It's not just sufficient. It's nice.
I think maybe nice is used in a different context there. Not being, really, really great, but just okay.
Well, then it should say, suffice, do okayly. I like do nicely. I think it says more than suffice.
Oh, okay.
But I have no idea what I'm talking about, so just ignore everything I just said in that last sentence.
I liked 66 across, apt name for a car salesman, Otto.
Yes, that was good. 31 across was a mystery to me, like bread more suitable for panzanella, staler.
Yes, I didn't quite understand that either, because I don't know what panzanella is, but...
Well, apparently it's some sort of a dish where they like to give you stale bread. Maybe it's designed for canaries.
No, I mean, you use stale bread like in stratas and...
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't make stratas.
No, you don't make stratas.
If I were, I would only use the freshest of breads.
It's usually stale bread is good for, like, if you're going to soak it. If it's something that has a lot of liquid in it, and then that soaks up the liquid, and when you bake it, it makes it nice and tasty. So
it's also good if you have guests over and you don't want them to come back. Here, have some strata or whatever.
No, stale bread.
Have some stale bread. Well, you wouldn't call it that because that would sort of give it away.
Yes, I think so.
You would call it, here, have some panzanella.
Hey, as a Canadian, have you been to 33 across? Canada's blank Nova National Park.
No, I had
TERRA Nova.
I had to go to Apple Maps to find out where it was.
Where is it?
It's in Newfoundland.
Oh.
and I've never been to Newfoundland because there's no way to get to Newfoundland. It's an island, of course.
Right.
And so you can't drive there. So otherwise, I'm sure I would have been there.
Okay.
Apparently, it takes there's a 6 or 8 hour boat ride to get there.
Really? Not like Prince Edward Island. They have a
You
bridge.
could drive there.
There's a wonderful bridge to Prince Edward Island.
I think if Newfoundland really wants to start earning a lot of money, they need to build a bridge.
Build that bridge, yes.
I think that could be a campaign slogan.
Oh, dear.
One of them's going to say, I'm going to build a bridge, and the other's going to say, I'm going to build a bridge and a tunnel. And the other will say, I'm going to build a bridge, a tunnel, and a monorail. Going to get into some giant transportation wars there. We had 69 down. Disc jockey is to DJ as non-binary is to NB,
Yes.
which is spelled E-N-B-Y.
Right.
And I was thinking about all the different ways you could spell NB. E-N-B-Y, E-N-B-E, E-N-B-E-E, E-N-B. It's sort of one of those chameleon words.
Well, it's non-binary, so you have to get, the N-B-Y.
I don't know if you had to get the Y out of it. I mean, because I think disc jockey, they're getting the D and the J.
J.
The first
The
letter
two
of
letters.
right.
First two letters. So non-binary.
Well, you get the N and the B.
The N, the B, and the Y.
No, because then disc jockey would be DJY.
Oh, well, I guess that's just the way they abbreviate it. It doesn't have to follow the same pattern, but it just the idea that you create a word out of the letters within
Sure.
what you're naming there. So
We had right after that, right next to it, feature of a yurt, but not a teepee, was a roof.
that's correct. Yeah.
I went for door initially.
Oh no, teepees can have doors.
Well, I was trying to figure out that
It might be a flap.
if you didn't have a door, how would you get in?
Yes, that could be a problem. Yes.
Did you get 78 down? Oklahoma's wheat capital, Enid?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I saw it as 4 letters, and I had one of them, and I thought that's the only city in Oklahoma I know,
Yeah.
other than Tulsa, which may or may not be part of Oklahoma.
I think it's the only four-letter city in Oklahoma I know. That's why I put it in.
It's the only 4-letter city. All other cities are required to have 3 or 5 letters.
Oh, okay.
The Philippine currency, 81 down, was the peso.
That's right.
And 96 down I struggled with quite a lot. Dunderheads. So I went for idiots. Turned out to be morons.
Right.
Did you have any trouble with that?
No, I didn't. I knew quite a few of the crosses there, so.
Oh, okay. 105 down was obscures, and that was fogs.
Yes, that was a little tough.
A little obscure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because 105, the F of fogs, was first letter in 105 across. Grain used in Italian cuisine. I wasn't sure what that was because I just think
really?
of pasta. But it was farro, which I guess pasta can be made of farro. I don't know. But anyway.
I have this recollection of something called farine. Farrine.
Farine?
Farine. And I mean that for real. Are you familiar with farine?
No.
So farine is nothing at all.
Seminola.
Farine is, crunchy and light Italian cookies. I may have just been hallucinating that word. It doesn't seem to be there's something called spelt flour farine. I don't know. Anyways, probably some relation to Pharaoh. At least I'd like to hope so.
Okay.
I felt that the saddest clue in this entire grid was 103 down. Angela Lansbury was nominated for 18 of them, winning none. Emmys. 18?
I know.
Come on. After number 12, you should be saying, let's just give it to her.
Right.
I mean, that's cruel.
That is.
Was she just really a bad actress? In which case, how did she keep getting nominated?
No, she must have been an excellent actress. I saw her in Murder, She Wrote. She was a great actress in that.
Was she like trying to kill the people who kept voting against her? That could have been the plot line.
She was the one solving the murders, not committing them.
She should solve the mystery of why she keeps losing when it comes to Emmys. That's incredible.
But I think there are other actors and actresses like that get nominated all the time.
Really? And never win? Always a bridesmaid and all that?
Yep.
119 across I did not understand. Dartmouth's colorful nickname, Big Green. Why is Dartmouth Big Green?
Well, it must be their color, one of their school colors. Oh,
Ah, okay.
no.
I figured maybe that was their mascot.
No.
Or maybe that was the nickname they gave to their biggest donor. Here comes Big Green. He's leaking.
So.
He or she is leaking money as they waddle towards us. You figure if they're a big donor, they have to waddle.
Right. Where I ended up, I had a little bit of a natic here. 113 across, liqueur in a spritz, and that crossed with 89 down. Impressive array.
Panoply.
Panoply.
Yep.
I have never heard of a panoply.
Really?
Yeah. Well, what is a panoply?
It is an impressive array.
Of what?
Of anything. It could be a panoply of actors. It could be a panoply of houses. It could be a panoply of statues. I think I know it in terms of, I want to think that a pantheon has a panoply of statues.
Oh.
But I was familiar with the word, and so I put it down immediately.
Well, that second P crossed with the liqueur, which was Aperol.
Right.
Which I'd never heard of.
I believe we've had Aperol as well in the grid. A whopping total of 2 times.
I'm going to say, I don't remember it.
Well, perhaps that's because it was over a year ago, almost a year ago. It was actually June 11th, 2024, when it was clued as red alcohol in a spritz.
Aperol.
Yes.
Okay.
But I thought I remembered it from the crossword, but since it's only appeared once, possibly not.
Okay.
I may be inventing the same memories that dredged up farine. More intrusive, 98 down, was nosier.
Yes.
Boy, that looks wrong when you spell it out. Nosier. And the Gummy Candy Company, 94 down, was Haribo.
Haribo.
You know, I'm still getting over Zynga from yesterday. So I don't really know if I need Haribo today. What's the saying? Haribo today, Gano tomorrow? No, that isn't the saying.
So.
Okay, sorry. Have you ever read 91 down, Pablo Neruda's Ode to My Socks?
No, I have not. Sad to say, but no, I have not.
They must have been really desperate. It's like, I got a poem. It's due like in 5 hours. And I'm putting on socks. Ode to my socks.
There you go.
Oh, my socks. But that name sounds famous.
Well,
is Pablo Neruda,
that's
he a painter?
Crossword name too, yes.
Is he or she a painter?
No, they're a writer.
They're a writer? Okay. Pablo Neruda. And I presume you want me to read it.
No.
It's a little on the long side. I'll just do the first couple lines. Maru Mori brought me a pair of socks, which she knitted herself with her sheep herder's hands. 2 socks as soft as rabbits. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a poem about socks.
A poem about socks. I'm going to write a poem.
Oh, dear.
Actually, I don't have any ability to write poems.
Ode to my crossword.
Ode to a crossword, yes.
Well, perhaps you can grace us with that when you finish it.
Perhaps. 109 down, powerful engine was a V10.
Yep.
Have you ever been in a car that had a V10?
Oh, I think so.
Really?
Long ago.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the name of the car?
No.
Ah, okay. Oh, there's one more clue that I want to talk about. 11 down. 11 down was use a Clorox wipe on, say, de-germ.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of de-germ?
No.
That sounds made up. I need to de-germ something. It's like I can't remember the right word, so I'll use de-germ.
Yeah, I think if I said that, in common conversations, like, well, I de-germed my kitchen yesterday on my day off, people would look at me strangely.
They would give you one of those looks. Yes. All right. Well, I think that is it for today then. So thanks everyone for listening. I hope you're enjoying these podcasts. Let us know, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com. We will be back again with our take on Monday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.